guys, it's Will from Magic the Friendly Tavern, and tonight we're going to be running a Q and MTGO with my Sharuum deck. This is going to be a laid back, little chill stream video thing. Not really gonna try and do a whole lot tonight. Not gonna pressure myself. I'm just trying to make some content. So it's going to be laid back. We're just waiting for our third or fourth slot to open. I'd open with 3 players, but last time I did that, I ended up being Kingmaker because I had all the counter spells and they had all the combos, and I had to stop one person, so I made the other person win, and that didn't feel good. And I didn't put that video up because it was such a bad video. Hopefully we can get 4 players in here and all 4 players stick around till the end, and we can get some stuff done. It'd be nice to get a good 4-player game in, but if not, we'll just put up what happens, and we'll go from there. I'm just waiting on this last opponent, and I can't pause this video because of the capture that I'm using, so I can't edit in like on my phone when I could Arena and stuff. So it's kind of live or nothing. And then if I go to if I switch screens and the desktop gets shown, it'll shut the recording off. So right now I can't even do a deck tech without having to set up some special settings to make it to where it won't do that. And I'm not sure exactly how to do that. Like y'all know, I'm new at this, but I'm learning as we go. I've gotten a better rig to record with. I've got an Alienware A17, and it's got pretty good graphics capabilities and stuff, especially if we're just playing a generic card game with no flashy graphics or particle effects. This thing can hammer it out. The mic picks up everything though, and you might hear a buzz behind me, a kind of a droning sound. That's my air conditioner, and I'm telling you, I live in Texas. You're going to have to get used to listening to that air conditioner. I'm not going to be shutting it off while I record. It's just way too hot in this state to even think about doing that. So you will be hearing my air conditioner run. Sometimes you'll hear my dogs bark. I got little doggies. But that's mainly it. I mean, I guess if nobody shows up here in the next couple of minutes, I will go ahead and start the game just so we weren't wasting time. But I hope it's not another Kingmaker game. Alright, and we're launched. Go ahead and show chat. Go ahead and greet chat. This hand's not great. This hand's really not great. I'd like to mulligan this. This hand's a little better, not by much. We are up against Tatyova, Mythic Druid, Kenrith, the Return King, and Atraxa, Praetor. We are playing Sharuum. We'll keep this hand. Alright, so we got turn 1 Soul Ring from Tatyova, which is fine. Looks like somebody might want to counter that. And we're just writing on Rainbow Unicorn. I don't understand why they'd want to, unless they wouldn't want to counter that. They're just probably doing something right now. We'll just wait on them. No big deal. I'm hoping I can get this to where y'all can see it pretty well. Oh boy. There it goes. Alrighty then. Looks like we're good to go. I draw into a Walking Bliss. I also have an Altar of the Brood. I have 2 lands. I'm going to run out of Acetus Anod, and I'm just going to leave it up with Swan Song. I have no rocks. I would like some rocks. I'd like some draw. I'd like some tutors. That's what we're looking for. Alright, and our Atraxa player over here with a Triome. That is a Swamp Forest Island, so they have green, blue, black handy now. See what Rainbow Unicorn does. Misty Rainforest. Alright, doesn't look like they want to crack it at this moment. They're Kenrith. They're probably deciding what the colors they need in a 5-color deck. It's kind of hard to know exactly what colors you want to get immediately, so you kind of want to wait, see what you draw. Alright, we got Kodama's Reach coming down. He'll search for 2 basic lands, put 1 into play and 1 in his hand. Island and Forest. Island comes into play. Then he plays his Forest for turn. That's pretty good Kodama's Reach right there. When we draw a command tower, we'll want to put that down over City of Brass, because City of Brass deals damage to us every time it's tapped. And right now we want to conserve our life total. We're not an Adnos deck, but you know, Adnos could fit in here pretty easily. But a lot of people like to take chunks out of our health because they think we're Adnos. And it's always a good idea to take an Adnos player off of life. It makes them draw less cards for their Adnos, because they have less life to pay for each card they reveal. So far, nobody's doing anything crazy. Ooh, when are they playing? Augur of the Autumn. You may look at the top part of your library. You may play lands from the bottom. That's interesting. It's a 2/3. There's nothing I can do about it anyways. Veto only hits non-creature spells. This only hits enchantments, instants, or sorceries. Ooh, I drew an Intuition. That's perfect. Let's cast this City of Brass. Or not cast, but play the City of Brass. We'll wait to Intuition, see what happens. We don't really just want to waste it right now. We don't really... because we have Altar of the Brood in our hand, we can't really exactly grab our combo, per se. I mean, we can, but we can't cast Sharuum anyways. So, I have to come up with a solution for that. Ristic Study is not any fun. I'm going to let it go. If it doesn't immediately stop me from trying to win the game, I just usually let it go, because I only run 16 removal, 16 to 17 removal, so I need to save these spells to push my game plan through and not worry about trying to control everything my opponents are doing. So mainly I ignore my opponents for the most part. And it's way too early to be start making enemies right now anyways. Alright, so we got steam vents, breeding pool, and watery grave into play. And this is Oreo Flame. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure what that combo's with, honestly. I'll take the 10 extra life, that's fine. I don't care. I have nothing to say about that. I found that card interesting that they're playing it. I'm not aware of anything that card combos with that makes it any better. But their 5-color burn deck, that's amazing. And they go to play Tatyova. I wish I could actually counter that right now. Because she gives them so much advantage. When a land enters the battlefield under their control, they gain life and they draw a card. So the next thing they're going to want to do is put a whole bunch of lands in play at one time, which ramps them and makes them draw the cards for what they're ramping into. It's really nasty. But again, I have no way of dealing with creatures. And I can burn an intuition at the end of this turn. But I think I should wait maybe and draw some more cards. Even though I do have mission briefing to get the intuition back. Maybe I should intuition for some rocks. Let's do that. We'll choose rainbow. We'll go ahead and let them get their Ristic Study trigger and draw a card. Alright, so we will get Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, and Grim Monolith. Let's see what they do. Alright, they gave us Grim Monolith, that's good. And we untap with Mox Opal. So we're going to go ahead and play Grim Monolith. Let them get the Ristic Study trigger. They're going to draw some cards off me. Because I'm playing out this Grim Monolith. I should have played out Altar of the Brood first, honestly, but I only want to use Altar of the Brood when I'm winning, because I might actually mill them into something that they can use out of the graveyard. Cast Altar of the Brood. I am feeding Griff pretty hard, but it'll be okay. And we're going to cast our Mox Opal. And it's turned on now. So we do have access to Swan Song. So in case of all these 11 cards he's drawn, he's got something for us. We got an answer. At least one. Alright, and everybody mills. What did they all mill? What did we get in the graveyard? We got a Greater Good. We got a Godless Shrine. And we got a Crufix, the God of Horizons. That's fine. They're all fine hits. We just need a Sculpting Steel or a Phyrexian Metamorph. Oh, Winding Constrictors for his +1/+1 counter is pretty nice. This helps him with his lands. And he's got to discard one card. And he discarded a Corpse Shack Menace, which is a beating. It's a 4-mana 4/4, but it also doubles his counter, +1/+1 counters. So of course it has a spot in the deck. The hardest thing with those decks is getting the right nuance between creatures that can make +1/+1 counters and the things that double +1/+1 counters. If you have one or too many of the other, then you're not getting full effect. It's kind of hard to balance, especially in a 4-color deck like Atraxa. That's why Atraxa is not usually considered competitive. Burn Rights of Itlamok is definitely a competitive card. Sometimes this thing is better than the Guy's Cradle that it looks to mimic. Okay, I'm waiting for the ability to go off so I can see what he reveals, if anything. Oh, a Tireless Tracker. That's really good in the Landfall deck. When a land enters your battlefield under your control, you investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, which is what you get when you investigate, you get to draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on Tireless Tracker. It can get out of hand. And it's coming to the field now. And no attacks. They're keeping their shields up. Probably from the other players. We draw on the Strip Mine. We'll play out Strip Mine. Altar of the Brood will trigger. We'll go ahead and mill. See what they mill. We get a Seton. Ooh, we get a Platinum Angel. And we get a Doubling Season. Those are all good hits. Ooh, I hope I'm not making too many enemies here. That's the problem with running Altar of the Brood out too early. I think at the end of turn we'll Mission Briefing back Intuition and maybe try and go for a combo. We haven't seen no counter magic yet, but everybody is running blue at the table, so somebody's got a counterspell in hand besides me. See what this is. This is an Ajani the Great-Hearted. Meh, I don't care. Not the greatest Planeswalker. Actually, I think that was a little better than I thought it was. -2, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control and a loyalty counter on each Planeswalker you control. That's interesting. But he gets 2 counters. We'll see who they're putting in at. At me, oh, I'm the big threat at the table. Well, that is true. We'll just take it here. We don't have any choices anyways. We can't deal with creatures that very well. I'll have to go get a spell to deal with creatures if I really want to. But I'm hoping to combo off before I just take an insane beating here. And they have to discard another card. They discarded Yawgmoth's Transposition. Okay. And it looked like Rainbow Unicorn did much. Now it's the Tatyova player's turn, and they are definitely probably going to go off here pretty soon. They just dropped one land, triggering both their Tireless Tracker and their Tatyova. And they're trying to cast a Nature's Lore, which will go get them a forest card put on their battlefield, which will again trigger their Tatyova and Tireless Tracker. And it looks like you're going to pay one for the Ristic. Yes, I have no problems with this. And a Hope Tender. Okay. There's Path to Ancestry allows them to scry one whenever they cast a mana was spent to cast a creature spell that shares a type with your commander. A druid. They're both druids. Interesting. We're hoping they're going to run out of gas soon, but they got plenty of cards and they got plenty of mana left. Oh goodness, what is this? And am I going to have to counter it? They're going to be able to untap 2 lands. Yeah, we're gonna nix that. This kind of shuts us back a turn from what we were gonna do, but we don't want them having that. They're gonna get silly. Pay one for Ristic Study as well. This will stop them. This will stop them from going off this turn. But we ain't got many more turns until they get into the position of where they can go off. So we need to find something. And I tapped all my colored mana. I could have left at mission briefing at least, but I didn't. They're gonna swing back into me for retaliation. I don't blame them. Glad to have this extra 10 life about now from the Aria that he cast earlier. Growing Light's a Vitlamont flip, but I have a Strip Mine in play. Impulse is nice. Oh boy. Let's hope they get mad at each other and start swinging at each other instead of ganging up on me. And they crack a clue. making their tireless tracker larger. Drawing a card. If I had one more land out, I'd consider strip mining them. But I really need this land right now. They drew 2 cards. Their tireless tracker is a 5/4 now. Swords to Plowshares on the Hope Tender. Yes, the Hope Tender was the problematic piece. That's the part that was going to break us. So that's why he's getting rid of it. I knew it was a combo piece. I just didn't know exactly all what it combos with, but I can imagine. I can imagine. Just got to get it untapped and get it going. Especially with this flipped it Lamok out, they can create multiple land or mana off this one land. They can make 4 or 5 mana off this one land, and then keep untapping it with the untap guy. It's not good for us. Battle Mage. I'm gonna let it go. It's dangerous. It is dangerous, but I'm gonna let it go. He's gonna draw cards off of it, but he's already got Rhythmic Study out there working art overtime for him. And he draws 2 cards off of this. That's not bad for 4 mana and an activation of a Johnny. Which I had Johnny sticking down pretty quickly. But his team is huge now. Let's see who suffers at the wrath of this. Hopefully he goes after the Tatyova player. Because me and Rainbow aren't really doing much. But, you know, we don't have any boards or anything. So we're not really like fighting in this game really hard. I might intuition for a board wipe, but usually that doesn't work for me. Because I have so many cards in hand, even on a board wipe, they're going to build back really quickly. As I don't have them, they're not overextended at all, and I would be. I'm already like only 5 cards in hand. Now, how to beat them on card advantage? That's the question. Really wish Rainbow would start pulling some weight and help me out here, especially if they're going to be swinging 12 into me this turn. Only 6. It looks like the other 6 is going towards the Tatyova player, and that's fine. I'll take 6. Go down to 36 here. $35, I'm sorry. Griffin Rising must discard 2 cards now to go down to 7. Or is it 3 cards? 3. So am I taking my joint? Butcher. Oh, here we got a Kozilek. I cannot mill them out with Altar of the Brood. He will not die because the Kozilek's in his deck. So we're going to have to shift gears anyways. Even though I'm halfway through a combo right now, I'm going to have to not use that combo and go for something else. I mean, I could kill the other 2 players with that combo and then trying to figure out a way to kill that guy later, but that'd be a lot of clicking for me and I'd have no time left, so we're just going to go for a different combo. Rainbow Unicorn still not doing anything, stuck on 4 lands. About to discard, actually. Let's see what he discards. And it looks like a Lich's Mastery. Lots of spells that cost over 4, probably stuck in his hand. Lich's Mastery is an interesting card. Hexproof, you can't lose the game. If you gain life, draw that many cards. Whenever you lose life, you lose one life for each loss. Exile a permanent you control or a card from your graveyard or hand. When this leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. So basically, it eats away at permanents in your hand and on the battlefield. And once Lich's Mastery is gone, you lose the game. And eventually, you will have to sacrifice it if you take enough damage. So it kind of flips the game on its head. But you are dependent on the number of permanents in your hand and in play. So it's interesting. Could keep you alive long enough to do what you want to do, though. And I guess if you lock with it, there's certain locks you can do with it. I'm not exactly sure I'm not familiar with the card myself. I just know about it. And land enters and get another clue, and we get to draw another card and gain 3 life. It's pretty good. It's amazing Tatyova is actually an uncommon legendary creature. She's pretty pimp. She's pretty broken. She's really good. It's just that she's a 5-mana 3/3 with no combat abilities, so she's strictly a utility creature. It kind of holds her back. Oh, Nissa. What do we want to do about Nissa? We're gonna impulse in response to that. And no, we're not going to pay the 1 Puristic Study. Go ahead and resolve Impulse. Well, there's something. Do I want that Entomb or do I want that Disciple? What can I Entomb that I can go get? I think I got it. Alright, I think I got a plan going here. Alright, so we'll Entomb. Go ahead and let her have her Nissa. Go ahead and let her +1 it and shake the world and all that other crazy stuff Nissa does. Oh boy, that's a beating. She's going to be untapping. Oh, that's... Let's see what they cast when this out of this. They are putting up like over 10 mana right now. Could be an Expel. Boundless Realms I do not like. We're going to Swan Song that. We're not going to pay for Ristic. Black Ranger Forge, that's fine. That could be the death of us, but that's fine. It's half as bad as it could have been because I stopped it. Still, he's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, +6, +6, 7, +7, +7 on his Tatyova. Make it a 10/10. I'm going to be wrecking people. I can disenchant it if it comes in at me. There's always that. And he plays a Rashmi. Rashmi is its own deck. It's 4-color Rashmi is what they call it, but Rashmi is like a hidden commander. They have to go get Rashmi, but it causes a lot of card advantage because it lets you free cast. Okay. An 11-11. See who it swings at. Me. Naturally. There we go. Now we're finally able to cast our disenchant. Now keep me in the game a little longer anyways. And this turn we might be mission briefing into intuition because we got to get a cast out there eventually, so we might have to do it at sorcery speed. Oh, that basalt monolith is pretty. Oh, that basalt monolith is pretty, but we need all of our colors right now. Cast mission briefing. Not paperistic study. Okay, we're surveil 2. We'll look at the top 2. We can put them in our graveyard if we want. Alright, we'll put them back on top. We'll put them back on top. We will choose an intuition. We will cast an intuition. We'll choose Griffin this time. Alright, so what we want Rings of Bright Hearth. We want Rings of Bright Hearth. We want Power Artifact. And I guess Ossicron Scepter. And we'll let them choose. And hopefully they give us something we can use. And if not, I have Sharuum to get Rings of Bright Hearth back out of the field. And I got Walking Ballista in hand so we can set up our combo. Oh, they gave me Power Artifact. That is crazy. Okay, then we win next turn if we can ever get a turn. We'll go ahead and F6 because we're not doing anything. We don't have anything to cast. We don't have anything except for an Entomb. We can't cast it. Looks like Griffin got out his own cradle. got 16 cards in hand. I can imagine he's got a lot to cast. He's getting a lot of black mana out that herb board. Oh, and a rare branching evolution, but yep, it's another smaller version of doubling season. Which doubling season always maintains a $50 price tag, and but it can ultimate planeswalkers when they come out. That's why. It's just not been overly printed. They keep that one in their back pocket for a while. Crystalline Crawler is pretty interesting. Kind of like a mana rock. And it evolves his Fathom Mage, which draws him a card. Okay, I stand corrected. He gets 4 counters on it because of all of his counter doubling. He gets to draw 4 cards. Oh, his deck going off pretty well. I've never seen Atraxa work so fluidly. I'm impressed. And a Lightning Greaves. Ooh. And allows him to attack with his 11/11 immediately. Oh, I'm sorry, his now 15/15. I guess he can tap and untap and put more, or then he plays Hardened Skulls. He should have played that out first. Toothy. Toothy's a good one. He gets to go find Pure if he's running it. He is. Toothy is a great card advantage machine, not to mention a decent beater. And he plays Atraxa. Seeing Archangel Athun come down. With all his +1/+1 counter shenanigans, this is pretty good. And gains 3 life off of Johnny, so she triggers on each creature you control. He might be big enough to kill us, all 3 of us, by the time he's done. If not, he's pretty close there. He can at least eliminate me without any problems and leaving up enough blockers for the rest of the team. And he's drawing massive amounts of cards. Well, maybe I should have got a board wipe. Yeah, his peer is already a 73/73. He can slide the boots over to it and eliminate one person with that creature alone, either me or Rainbow, because we end up blockers. And Audric's going to sit here and let them all keep copy and keep keywords. So they should all have. All should be getting. Death Touch, Haste, and Vigilance. And this should be enough to put most of us to death. Let's see, he's swinging now. Pretty much enough to kill me. I think that's 30. He's got the 73 swinging at the Tatyova player, and I think he's got the rest of the house swinging at Rainbow. And that might be a good game. Alright. Oh, they're bitching about. Well, it looks like there's a reversal of fortune, a stunning reversal, that is. Mana drain and pact negation went on to the stacks. That's interesting. Trying to see what he's working towards here. Well, it looks like I'm about to be put out, but that ain't no big deal. Can't win them all. They said I should have controlled the game better, but guys, you got to realize this is a combo deck. I have minimum ways to interact. I do interact, but minimum ways, and it's only looking to push my combo through. I am not the control deck at the table. I am not meant to be the control deck. A lot of people mistake me for being the control deck. I am not a control deck. That's okay. We'll see who wins out of this, and then that'll be it for this recording. And I was glad it was a 4-player game, and it went pretty long, and everybody was happy. Lots of triggers on the stack. So this effect should be in effect because he got it through. The next time you would lose this game this turn, instead draw 7 cards and your life total becomes 1. Exile stunning reversal. Hey, that'll keep you in the game for a little bit. Wonder what his plan is next though. Because he's got pretty bad board states on both sides of him. He'll have to Wrath first. But Griff got 33 cards in hand. It's not like he's going to have any trouble rebuilding. And he's still drawing more cards. He's got all these Fathom Age triggers down here that are going to draw him cards. Looks like he sped through them. He didn't, I guess he said no to all of them because he didn't draw any more cards after that. He didn't want to deck himself. Yeah, pretty much using all the mana off of his crystalline crawler to play out his hand. If he overextends into a board wipe, I'm gonna laugh. I can imagine he doesn't want to just discard a whole bunch of that stuff either. Ooh, this with +1/+1 counters is really good. Glendalinger Archmage, be able to counter non-creature spells, and then it persists. You just put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then you can do this indefinitely. It's pretty interesting. And he's going to proliferate everything with Atraxa at instep. Huh. Even apparently his opponent's things. What a nice guy. Now he has to discard down to 7. Oh, this might take a second. Alright, he got there. Oh, he got rid of a lot of lands. Yeah, a lot of lands. The Phyrexian Arena. Shaylee, Voice of Plenty. Smothering Tide. Avenger of Zendikar. Hangerback Walker. Spark Double. Makes you wonder what he kept. Those are really good cards. Alright, Cyclonic Rift on... Or is he just casting it, or what? This is targeting Nissa, which I think is the least of your worries. I would have left the Tatyova player alone to deal with Griff. But that's just me. I would have just like waited it out and hoped nobody hit me. He'll just play it next turn again. There's a little salt in the chat, but it's okay. People, don't get salty. Don't get mad at each other. Be nice to each other. We're all that we have is ourselves. So try and uplift as many people as you can, but realize not everybody is going to help uplift themselves, and you can't drag somebody to it. You got to cut the dead weight off, but try and be nice to each other. If I keep facing this many creature decks, though, I'm really going to have to start thinking about running more creature removal in my shell if this is just what the meta is going to be. Because I have 2 Wrath effects. I have a Toxic Deluge and a Damnation, and I have Path to Exile, and I have Swords of Plowshares, and that's the only 4 pieces of creature removal I've run, besides regular counter spells, Mana Drain, Force of Will, and the like. But those aren't really meant for creatures, honestly. This really was a cool game to see Atraxa get really huge in it and come out on top. Atraxa doesn't usually do that well in these top games, but this was a good one for them. Of course, I was just way behind on comboing out. I mean, I guess I could have, instead of taking off a turn, I could have stayed on turn and maybe got one out, but it's hard to say. They were smart. They were targeting me down the entire time, which is what they need to do, because I'm always a threat at the table. Always. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has any protection from flying. He can just get over with his Archangel of Thune for 75 damage in the air and kill you. We'll see what you got. You might got some flyers coming up. Kindred summonings. That's interesting. Are all these druids? Oh my goodness, he might be able to go get most of his deck with all these druids. No, Glenelinder Archmage says no on that. So let's see what else the Tatyova player has. I got regrowth. Going to get back to Kindred summonings and cast it again. Yes, yes we are. That's hilarious. That's not a bad play. Apparently, the persist on his Glenelindra came back. The Glenelindra did come back, but it came back with a -1/-1 counter. And because he's got a counter doubler out there, one of them doubles any type of counters. Then it doubled the -1/-1 counters on the Glenelindra Archmage and killed it, which is interesting. I didn't know it would do that. Maybe. It could be a bug. Who knows? The Moto, you can never tell. But that's what we're discussing in chat right now. But this game's practically over. I'm just trying to figure out who's going to win it. Just didn't want to cut your guys off in the middle of a match and y'all not get to see the outcome. Got Circle of Dreams, or Dreams of Druid, which is basically Gaia's Cradle on a stick. Gaia's Cradle's hovering around $1,200 right now, and people really need all green decks need Gaia's Cradle, and Gaia's Cradle's on the reserve list, so they're trying to print around it. This is a creature that has the same ability, so it's a creature on a stick. We already talked about Growing Rights of Itlamok. Here's the original guy's cradle. Add green mana for each creature you control. Now, if you control 0 creatures, this land doesn't tap for any mana. Just keep that in mind. And that's why sometimes growing Rites of Itlamok is better, because you can at least tap for a green, or tap for a green for each creature you control. You do have to flip it by having 4 creatures out there, but when you play it, enters the battlefield, you look at the top 4 cards of your library and reveal a creature card from it and put it in your hand. So that puts you one step closer. It's so easy to flip this thing. It's just really a good replacement for Cradle. It really is. And it looks like they gave up. That's the end of the game. Griff wins the game. That's it. My name is Will from Magic the Friendly Tavern. We're on Facebook as well as other social media. Come down and see us. I write articles every week. Try and make videos. If you enjoy these, please leave a like and share. Consider becoming a Patreon or a patron at my Patreon. That's it. Happy pack pulls, and as always, happy games.